on a mission. How are you?
From 1 to 10, I'm still doing a 20.
That's right. That's why you're a fantastic father. You know, Theo, I just want to tell a little story before you start talking to show you. There's so many stories that we could give, but this one was given to us by the principal of our Little Angels Learning Center here at our Mustard Seed Communities when they came in to speak about the Blessed Awards, the Blessings and Awards program last week. A little boy, really a problem child, as they would say. You know, his mom would bring him to school and he gave no ends of problems, problem after problem. But any day that his dad brought him to school, he was a changed child. And when his dad would say, give me a kiss before you go and you make sure you get hundreds, run over and kiss him, daddy, and believe you me, he was getting hundreds on that day. You know, that story might sound simple, but it's very profound as to how a child can be transformed just because that male energy was there, that balance, of a father being there. And that's why some years ago I decided to highlight fantastic fathers, because I think I had a fantastic father and I was blessed to have a fantastic father. So I think that we need to highlight fantastic fathers, and which you are one. You were also on it last year as well. And you're starting out this year absolutely in the same way. When I say
Thank you.
fantastic father, you're welcome. Theo, what do you think about? What do
When I
you
think
think?
about a fantastic father, I have to adopt an Italian lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
When Italians and certain European meet, these men, even the Arabs, there's a kiss on one cheek and a kiss on the other cheek,
Mm-hmm.
showing that love and affection. We have this phobia in Jamaica and the Caribbean that men should never hug. And one of the things that is missing in people's lives is that fatherly hug to show affection and support, because hug is a feeling of security. When you hug someone,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling of security. And I told this story before that my father had Alzheimer's in the last years. Uh, And I was 62 at the time, I think. And I could never remember the day my father ever hugged me and tell me that he loves me. And while I was at the nursery, rubbing his head, I said, Daddy, I love you. He looked up at me and said, Theo, I love you too.
Mm.
And tears almost came from my eyes because
Mm-hmm.
he might not be conscious of telling me that he loved me, but for the first time I'm hearing it from him, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And my son, Malcolm X, he's about 6 feet one or 6 feet two. And he refused to pick me up at the airport or something like that, because the first thing I'm gonna do is kiss him on both cheeks. Daddy, I'm in public. I look up to him and say, I'm your dad, shut up. you know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it's all about. It's not about money, it's not about material things you can give a child. It's not about that. It's about this relationship and trust that you don't become judgmental. Also, don't try to make your son or your daughter be like you, or fulfill your dreams. You know what I mean? If your daughter says, I want to be a diver, a swimmer, your son says, I want to be a dressmaker. Don't say that for sissy. You know what I mean? Follow his or her dreams. Let them live their life. Support them. And not let them say, oh no, you should go to engineer school. You should do this. We become so manipulative of our own children's lives, not knowing that at the end of the day they have to live with themselves, not you, you know. And
That's right.
and to me, there's a big difference in being a father by donating the sperm that brings you, and being a father that becomes your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand that. But what you would tell your best friend, you would not tell your parents. You see? And sometimes we just want to be
True.
parents and not their best friend at the same time.
Right.
And to me, I want to be my kid's best friend whenever it's possible. Tell me whatever you want. We're going to disagree,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because I want you to trust me as a friend. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
There,
you
there,
know I'm your father.
mm-hmm.
Yes, you know I'm your parent, but also I'm your confidant.
Very important point. Arlene Bailey, who is a Mekwitol presenter on Roots, who you know as well in my program. She has
Yes.
a different thought pattern about that. She says she doesn't want to be her children's friend. She's a parent because she figures that if she becomes her children's friend, then the relationship will break down because it becomes more like, oh, I'm going to look a friend out there, I'm going to look a friend out there, but not a parent. How do you address that?
Well, let me say this. Number one, in my last book that I wrote, I have a chapter on parenting. Some parents are dictatorship parents who control everything from the top, just like Russia and China. No, nobody have no say. This is the way it is. Shut up. Then you have the democratic. No, then you have the semi dictatorship and democratic, where I'm your parents, but I'm willing to listen to whatever you have to say, and let's have this debate. Then you have the democratic parenthood, where the child sit down and partake in the entire running of the family and so forth. So when time come to pay the bill, the mother say, okay, this is what was made for the month. You know, this, we have to pay the light bill, we have to do this, we have to participate, we have to do everything. And let me tell you something. I don't care. Let's go back to you and I. Your mother and father could be the most dictator and most strict parents in this world. But guess what? You still go hide around and date that boy your mother said to stay away from, right? You still do
You
whatever you
better
want to
believe
do
that.
when
That's
you
so
know
true.
when you're outside there. Oh my God, my mother see me with you. My father see me, they kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I see you there. So you think that you controlling their lives is totally wrong. It's not going to happen. And guess what? 90% of the time you hear it from adults. I refuse to marry a man like my mother and father did. You know, they were too manipulated. How many times you have heard that?
Yep, a whole lot of times.
Parents think that they are controlling their child and doing the right thing. But that child said, oh no. You know, my mother was very strong and dictatorship and so forth. I do not, I don't want my son to marry someone like that. I love her,
Mm-hmm.
but, and that's a but that you don't want.
Right, yeah, that definitely becomes an issue. So, there's a book I'm sure, as an author, you would have heard of this book. It's by a Jamaican. I think it's one. Is it a Jamaican or a Black American? Anyway, I think it's Jamaican. My mother who fathered me.
Yes,
Don't remember the
yes.
author's name.
1 minute, you just said that and chills go through my entire body. Because that's the truth. There are a lot of women who became the male figure in the child's lives.
So that's possible. Your mother can father you, Theo.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
because can I tell you something? When a mother pick that child up and go play baseball with that child or football, and it's coaching that child in all the different things that a man's supposed to do. It's not only that she feed him, take care of it, take care of that child, and nourish that child, but she participated in sports and things that only you will see a man will
More
want
than
to do.
likely, yeah, father would do. Yeah.
You know, and became that person. Oh, can I share something with you that is amazing?
Sure.
How many artists, rappers, singers who made it to the top, and the only person in their life was their mother? I have never seen yet big artists buying things for the father, big house and all of that. My mother was always there for me.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Very, very true. Always. Yeah, you find that. You
You
find that
find
always. Yeah.
even with the big sports, is the mother there? It's only the tennis sports, what name, Serena Williams, and then father was involved in the bringing up and so forth. But majority of the time is the mother.
Yeah, yeah.
In
Most
all
of
the
the time it's the
singing and
mother.
all the artists and all of that, it was not the father there.
Very important. What? But now let's think of Jamaica. We're here in Jamaica, and there we have to admit that there's a big breakdown in parental and family, the routines, the way of life, and there's a breakdown, and that's why we're having so many issues with our young people now because as I had a meeting, a conversation last night and a meeting, and it was brought up that, what about the whole rites of passage that we talk about all the time? What about the whole idea of male and female being there? What about and we have to understand that even though the Jews and the Asians still see the rites of passage as very important in their family life, but that concept of rites of passage was originally from Africa, different cultures and countries in Africa. What can we do now, Theo, to oh gosh, it's so painful what is happening. How can we heal what is happening in our households now with maybe no father figure, or if there's a father figure, an abusive father figure, an abusive father, and
Well,
so many other things that are happening
let
in
me
terms of
let me
family?
let me answer that. First of all, we are no longer being influenced by our family. This is our family. Okay? This connects us to
So true.
lifestyles in China,
Mother, father, everything in our one.
lifestyle in Europe, lifestyle everywhere. All of the young women who is on the show doing their own entire thing, not realizing that tomorrow, when they go for a job, all those employees want to hit Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and watch everything about them at the time, what's going on. They don't have no concept of how this affecting their future, the way of life. Some of them committing suicide, some of them trying to be like this other person. I mean, because you see, the message in the past used to take a week, a month through regular mail to get to someone.
Right,
So
right.
therefore, the influence was not there.
Exactly.
But now,
Spontaneous.
wow,
Boom.
it's spontaneous. You have to hold on a minute because I didn't realize that my computer is about to lose power.
All right,
So,
sure.
so, sorry about that.
No
Let me
problem.
turn.
Let me
Let me
remind
just.
our listeners and viewers that we have Theo Chambers, who is a guru, an author, motivational speaker, a co-owner and founder of Temple of Inner Peace. Theo is a web maker, web designer is the correct way of saying it, and the list goes on. And so the concept is Fantastic Fathers, which I started a couple years ago, and we're doing again. I think probably for the third year. Are you back now, Theo?
Yes.
All right, great.
So,
So,
as I was saying, so at the end of the day, it is, first of all, let me say this. I will say, I put my neck on the line that majority of stupidity that's happening in this world, crime that's happening in this world, government cannot control it. Legislation cannot control it. Religion cannot control it. Policemen cannot control it. Do you know who have I would say 50 to 75% of controlling everything that's happening in this world? Women. If a woman, I don't care how bad a gangster is, that criminal is, in trying to get things to impress women, buying brand new car, and if she said, no, you need to stop this, you know the influence women have on men? We men think that we control women. But women control the entire world. And the problem is that when she's influencing negatively, the entire population is influenced negatively. She's the one who brings up that child. She's the one in the neighborhood accepting those gifts that she know came from something that was wrong. It's a
so
very sensitive area, but I can tell you, do not clean that bloody clothes that just came on. Do not accept those material things. Bring that child up and tell that man, you quit what you're doing and I will be with you for the rest of our life. I'm blessed. In 25 years, I have never had an argument with my wife about money. Sometimes we have one Jamaican dollar in our name, and we were dancing at 2 o'clock in the morning to Your Precious Love, when a man loves a woman, come to me softly, and all that stuff like that. It never bothered us one time.
yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful,
it's not
beautiful.
about that. And another thing too about relationship is all the father and mother get along, the children them learn from. That's parenting. So when you don't call
That's
your woman
parenting.
a big B and all kind of stuff like that in the neighborhood, and every word come out of a beautiful woman mouth is a 4 letter word, and your mother this and your mother that, the child hears it.
Of course.
That's
And
parenting.
lose respect for the yeah, the whole family structure. Absolutely. So then where do
Exactly.
so then based on what you do, Theo, and your interactions, even though you have your children, your personal children, but you have an extended family of children that you
Jesus, I have
father.
about 200 children all over the place.
Exactly. You father so many, you know. So, and you brought in the whole idea of women and how powerful women are. You're married. You've been married for what, 20 odd years, and
25 years.
25 years, and you were married before, twice
Twice
before,
before.
right? See, I know about you. And so now, 2023 June the 5th. Where do we go from here? What's next? How can we? I'm just narrowing it down to Jamaica because I understand what our situation is like right now. Where do we go from here? How can we make a difference together, working together, fathers and mothers, to save our children and save ourselves? How? What do we do? What must we do? Where can we go?
And that's something. It start with Khalid Gibran, the prophet says, your children are not your children. They come through you, but not from you. You may house the body, but not the soul. For the living of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. And when you understand that, sit back and do not criticize the negative things that your child is doing, but sit back and say, honey, let's have a talk. Why are you doing this? Do you realize that this is wrong? This is, you can have that conversation with a child. But at the end of the day, you have to also let go and say, you know something, if that's what you choose to do, then please take responsibility for the good and bad that comes out of it.
Right.
Let me give you a good example. I left the United States Air Force to go to law school. And my father and everybody was happy that I went to go to law school, working for this beautiful law firm on Wall Street. And during my file clerk days, I ended up becoming a street magician. My wife left me. My father told me I was worthless. Everybody told me I was everything that was negative because here this guy in a double-breasted suit becoming a magician on the street, getting people dropping money in a hat, $100, dollar bill in a hat. But I was making money. One day I got booked to go on a cruise for the SS Doric. I remember that. And I invited my mom and my father to be on that cruise. And I can see my father, that's my son. That's my son. The same one he said was worthless and no worthless. Then when I was in Atlantic City at Caesars and stage performing, oh, that's my son. When I was the one who was teaching Muhammad Ali, the magician, to do magic tricks and try with Muhammad Ali, the boxer, and all these celebrities. Oh my God, everybody proud of Theo, but while I was trying to develop, there was nothing there. There was no support.
Worthless, yes.
And do you know what that remind me of? That remind me of the quotation that I heard that when you die, there's 6 people, pallbearer, willing to carry you to your last destination. But while you're alive, you cannot find 2 of them to help lift you up.
So true.
I mean, all this parenting
So
and all this
true.
stuff have to do with children. Children don't want you to criticize them. How can I lift you up and say, daughter, yes, I've been through this. Just be a support. Like me and my son. Me and my son, we are very close. My daughter and I have not spoken really in 30 years because of what her mother told her.
30 years you haven't spoken to your daughter. 30 years.
About that, yes. Only for one time when my son died here for about a few hours and so forth. But otherwise, she has turned her back against me because of what her mother said. And that's another problem. Divorce caused good fathers who want to be good father from performing their job as
Mm-hmm.
good father because of the revenge that is placed on them,
Mm-hmm.
by parents and families and so forth.
Oh,
It's a multi-steer
yeah.
why some father are not the right father and got blamed falsely and wrongly because they were never given the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they end up with another family, they know that that child hates that father and say,
Mm-hmm.
look what you did. You have
Mm-hmm.
another family, you did this, but not realizing how all of that happened.
Wow. Ah, it's
So
it it
being
it's an
being a
ongoing
fantastic
situation.
father as a multifaceted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, play with it, We have to really
It's a
look at,
daily, momently thing that we have to work on if we want to save our family. We want to save our children, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, but what I just want to dispel the myth that there are no good fathers. Father this and
Uh,
father that and that. That's such a lie. There are a lot
can I tell me,
of good
1 minute?
fathers.
Let's look at the other side of the coin. What about this gentleman? I try to remember somewhere in Jamaica, it was maintain his 4 children all the days of his life,
Mm-hmm.
take care of them every day, bought them a house, came back to Jamaica, ready to take them, got a DNA test, and not one child belongs to him.
God have mercy.
That happened every day.
Yeah, yeah. That's a whole nother problem
What
again.
what about that lady that wrote a book that said in Jamaica, 60%, I think it is some nurse did that that the children who claimed to be father is not even a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
It's a well-fit suit, double-breasted suit, jacket, pants, everything fit permanently.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, no,
Wow.
no. Let me tell you how bad this is. I mean, how much I respect women, and I
Mm-hmm.
uplift women all the day of my life. But what happened when a woman said, "I don't know who the father is"? You know what
Mm-hmm.
it means?
Wow.
I mean, she want to pick one of them to be the
Of
father,
course, of course.
and that's why
And usually the wrong one.
I encourage every child that exists right now, take $60, $75 out of your pocket and go get your DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
Get your DNA test.
Oh
I
boy, I
I
think you're gonna
I
have a
right
lot
now
of yeah,
I
a lot
right
of
now have a
problems if that
hundred,
happens.
1,000, about 1,500 families in Russia, China, India, all over the world. I find in all my family because of my DNA test.
Yeah, you
They're
went and had
white,
it
they're
done.
Chinese, they're black, they're Africans, they're from all walks of life.
Yes.
And when we realize that, we stop fighting and killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're all
Very important
related.
point. Very important point.
I am related to all of the Walkers, the Waddell, I'm a Chambers, I'm a Moody, you know? But how many people?
Chambers. Yeah, okay. Your Chambers. Moody. Did you say Moody?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Moody, I'm a Walker, I'm a Waddell
Mm-hmm.
from Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I found some of my great grandparents in Porus, in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, the Walker came from no from Port Porus in Clarendon,
Right.
and the Waddell came from Portland
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. But some of them in four
Mm-hmm.
parts and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's the point. When you get to know that this your child, look at my wife. She didn't know her father was for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm the one who found her father for her, and they were able to mend that
Yeah. Very
separation
important.
until he passed away. She blessed
Theo.
me every day for able to at least see
Yeah.
her father. I had a conversation with her father
Major
why he did
accomplishment.
not take care of her. Her mother died, so she couldn't verify anything.
Mm-hmm.
But at least to mend that relationship.
Of course. Theo, we're out of time, believe it or not. I mean, it's been a great program as per usual. You are indeed a fantastic father right here on Rootsology, Roots FM. Thank
Thank
you
you so much.
so much. And could you give your social media handles, anything that you want to give, your
If
email?
I, if I can help anyone, being a mentor to anyone, they can call me at 876
Mm-hmm.
310 6612.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always here to help in a marriage relationship, family relationship,
Awesome.
advice. I have no problem in being there.
Great.
310-661-12.
Thank you so
That's all I
much.
can do. Serve humanity.
That's right. Wonderful. And you certainly are doing that. Thank you so much, Theo. Have a
Thank
blessed
you.
day, and we'll talk later. All the best. Thank
One
you.
love.
One love. Blessings. Theo Chambers there. Yeah. And of course, as we mentioned, Theo Chambers, author, motivational speaker, web designer, co owner of Temple of Inner Peace, motivational speaker. Yeah, the list goes on. Guru. Yeah. So thank you so much. Our Fantastic Father series continues for the month of June, and we will highlight the dynamic daddies. All right? Going to take a pause for the calls because we know that Dudley Thompson is coming up shortly on Mecwi Talk Sport. All right? So keep it locked to 96.1 on the FM band. Your community radio station soon come.